Oh, hi there, and welcome back to Undella Town. Today we are going to be heading east to the Undella Bay. And the Undella Bay is just a little small area east of Undella Town that we can explore. And there is some items and some new Pokemon here we can get. So let's begin. A heart scale right off the bat. And also if you're heading north, you can grab a Draco Plate, which boosts the power of dragon type attacks by 20%. And then we can of course go surfing, and there are plenty of trainers to fight and new wild Pokemon to be had. Starting with the water type, water flying type, Mantike, which evolves into Mantine. This Pokemon was kind of meant to be the special defensive version of Skarmory, but unfortunately Skarmory just turned out way better. It's not unusable, but it's not like it's just not the strongest it could be, I guess you could say. It is outclassed by a lot of water type Pokemon. I would say this is definitely a Pokemon you should only use if you like. There's also the water type Remoraid. Oh, and also an issue with Mantike is you have to have a Remoraid in your party in order to evolve it from Mantike to Mantine, which is really weird. I don't really understand that. Which leads us to Remoraid and Octillery. I think they're pretty hard to find. I can't remember the exact percentages. It's not bad. It's rather meaty. I'd say it's pretty along the lines of average. It's up to you on that one. There's definitely stronger options, but if you're looking for a water type and you like it, definitely consider it. You can also get your hands on the water-type Wailmore, which evolves into Wailord. This Pokemon is a bulky water type in terms of it has a ton of hit points, but that's really all it has going for it. Vaporeon does its job 10 times better, basically, so I would say take a pass on it unless you like the Pokemon. Pretty much the story of this route, to be honest. And the same goes for the water-ice type Spheal, which evolves into Cilio and Walrein, only obtainable in the winter. This is probably the best ice type you have access to at this point in the game, so I mean, it's not bad. It's an okay Pokemon. I've used one before in Emerald. I think it's usable by any means. It's just that we're going to be seeing some better options in the near future. So that's again your call. But probably more along the lines of if you like it, use it. If not, take a pass. And to add to that theme of if you like it, use it, if not, take a pass, up here is an area called the Seaside Cave, and it's currently blocked off by this guy here with 3 Roggenrolas. However, you can actually walk around here at the entrance, and there is a new Pokemon you can find here, and that is Seal, the water type, which evolves into an ice water type Dugong. And as I said, if you like it, use it. If not, take a pass. It's kind of underwhelming. Walrein outclasses it in pretty much every regard. I would say Walrein is a far superior option than Dugong. But that's my opinion. I mean, it's up to you. Again, you should always use the Pokemon you like at the end of the day. I've always preached that you should probably use what you like regardless of how strong it is, because that's what makes the game fun. If you use the Pokemon you like. And I know sometimes people within the game itself preach that. It's like, you should use the Pokemon you like the most. And it's actually kind of true, and like I agree with that statement a lot. find it amusing how all the swimmers, like, do stretch routines before fighting you in battle. It's like, hold on, I'll send out a Pokeball, but let me stretch first. I gotta warm up before I shout commands at my Pokemon. It requires a lot of physical activity. Now, something you may have noticed is some odd dark spots here in the water. And what are these two? Well, if you've played 3rd generation, you are familiar with the HM dive, which allows you to go underwater. Now, there's a little bit of interesting things you could do with this because you don't actually get dive until the after game. However, there are 2 Pokemon that learn it naturally, Welmer and Sil. And they learn it at level 41 if you don't evolve it. I think they learn it later if you evolve it, but I can't quite remember. So if you want to, you can technically go for an exploration diving at this point in the game if you are feeling a little bit more on the exploring side of things. I am not going to cover this, I consider this after game, but this actually allows you to explore the Abyssal Ruins, which will provide you a lot of interesting loot that you can sell to that rich dude back in Undella for lots and lots of money. Again, I'm not going to cover that, but feel free to check it out if you are feeling like you want to go exploring. You do need a Sil or a Welmore level 41 with dive in order to do that, or you can wait till the after game to get the dive HM. And once you get the dive HM, there's so many water types that learn it, so you won't really have to worry about what Pokemon you're using. I actually completely forgot to mention this in the last part. Back in Undella Town to the west, surfing, you can obtain another new Pokemon, Staryu, which evolves into Starmie through a Water Stone. And I don't know how I forgot to mention this, because this is the best Water-type Pokemon you could obtain in these parts. If you're looking for a Water-type Pokemon, I highly recommend you take a look at Staryu and Starmie. Since the day it came into the Pokemon world in 1st generation, it has been one of the stronger Water-type Pokemon. One of the best special sweepers in terms of it's just got a lot of variety and moves, and it has good speed, good special attack. It's a really solid Pokemon, and I've used one actually, like back when I used to do Wi-Fi battles, I actually used one. I trained one on my own, and I just loved that thing. It was so strong. Really good Pokemon. So, I would definitely say if you're looking for a Water-type Pokemon, surf over in Undella. Staryu and Starmie will do you some good. Keep in mind, like most Pokemon that evolve through a stone, it quits learning most of its moves after it evolves. Starmie is a water psychic type, by the way. I don't remember if I mentioned that. And that pretty much wraps up this route. I battled all the battles that can be fought. You can also get that splash plate over near the Ace Trainer right here. I forgot to mention that because I was talking about Staryu and Starmie. But for the most part, that wraps up the Undella Bay. Next time I will be heading south to go to yet another optional area. So yeah, that wraps up this part. Thank you, and good night.